بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد Inshallah, we are going through the book المسطور الإفادة بما يعين على حضور في العبادة, the encapsulated lines that help us to be mindful in our worship. And we talked about Sawm or fasting, and we covered 3 primary keys. Let's see if anybody has good memory. What was the first key?
Lowering the gaze.
Lowering your gaze. What was the second?
Protecting the tongue.
Protecting your tongue from all the haram. What was the third?
Protecting the
ears. The ear. So these are the primary manafid, they call it. These are the windows through which majority of the creation of Allah sins. And these are the ones that will lead you to other sins. So what you listen, what you see, what you speak, all of that have a direct impact on everything else. So that's why these are the ones that need to have a special awareness. And when we're fasting in the month of Ramadan, these 3 have to have a conscious, mindful effort that we are not the versions of what we were prior to Ramadan. So when we come into Ramadan, we change. Right? At least a 5-degree change or a 10-degree change, right? But there has to be some change. Then the next part is Arabic, the 4th one. كف بقية الجوارح من اليد والرجل عن المكاره. The 4th one is to make sure that the rest of your limbs now, you've taken care of the 3 primary ones. The rest of them are actually also following the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But over here, in specific, he says there's one that in Ramadan is the big culprit. What do you think it is? Huh? Stomach, mashallah. Be careful with the dosas on Saturday. Because everybody was pointing to you over the dosas on that day, so it seems like you're the dosa master here. So it's the stomach, right? That's what has to be. Oh, stomach, he said too? Okay, I didn't hear that. So, mashallah. So over here he says, فَلَا مَعْنَى لِلصَّوْمِ, there's no benefit to fasting. And what is fasting? Fasting is that you're eating things that are halal, ثُمَّ الْإِفْطَارُ عَلَى الْحَرَامِ. And then now you open your fast with specifically, not that nobody does this, but like eating food that is haram. Or getting involved in things that are haram. Specifically at the time of iftar. Even those things that are doubtful. Right? Things that are doubtful, shak hai, possible, not possible, there is an ikhtilaf, stay away from them. For the sake of your iman, it's only 30 days, you can go back to ikhtilaf after. Right? For the 30 days, stay away from the ikhtilaf. Like if this is 2 options, should I eat in the restaurant? Like so far, mashallah, so many brothers have asked, can I eat in a restaurant that serves alcohol? In the month of Ramadan, don't ask this question. Just stay away, go to another restaurant that doesn't. Right? Even if you take the opinion that it is okay, in the month of Ramadan, it's just better. Right? Because you're trying to be extra mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he says, قَدْ قَالَ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ كَمْ مِنْ صَائِمٍ. How many people are those who fast? لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صِيَامِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعُ وَالْعَطْشُ. All they get from their fast is hunger and thirst. Allah protect us. Right? فَقِيلٌ, they ask, هُوَ الَّذِي يَفْطِرُ عَلَى الْحَرَامِ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. It was said, who are these people? These are the people who break their fast on haram. Are those the people? Then Rasulullah said that. هُوَ الَّذِي لَا يَحْفَظُ جَوَارِحِهُ عَنِ الْأَثَمِ. These are the people who do not protect their limbs from haram. Fasting, you left halal, but your hands are doing all the haram, your eyes are doing all the haram, your ears, everything is involved in it. But you left. You know, it's a really interesting thing, right? You know, it's sad, it tells you the state of where the ummah is at. Somebody asked me this question, and every time we do the fiqh of fasting, it comes up. And I want you to understand this issue. It's funny too, but also it's sad. This kid, he called me and he asked me, he was like 21, 22. And he said, I have a issue. I said, what is your issue? He said, well, when I was fasting, I know that it's allowed to kiss your wife during the state of fasting, but I kiss my girlfriend. Okay. Then he's like, I kissed her, but she's a Christian, and I think that the alcohol she drank in her mouth, that broke my fast. But that tells you the level of where we are at as a woman. Right? SubhanAllah. It's funny, but it's also sad. That he knows that alcohol breaks fast, but not concerned about all the other harms that we're doing in the state of fast. Right? I got a phone call just before coming to Atlanta. I don't even know that person. A girl called me and she said, I want to talk to you, Sheikh. I said, go ahead. What's your issue? She said, 5 years ago, I committed zina 27 times while I was fasting. What do I do? Now I have repented. Right? So the state is that why does this happen? Because we are not mindful of Allah. So the fast is all about creating that mindfulness. Being aware that Allah is watching me. Being aware that when I say something with an intention other than what I intend, Allah is watching me. Right? That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qulu qawlan sadida. Seedhi baat karo. Talk straight. Right? That's the key. Qulu qawlan sadida. What comes after, yeah? يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم. Allah will make your a'mal salih. Start with this. Start with our living. Right? So he says, who is this person who is just hungry and thirsty all day with fast? The one who does not protect his jawarih from sins. Number 5. Al-Khamis. This is a difficult one for everyone. Huh? ألا يستكثر من الحلال في وقت الإفطار. Yes, you can eat halal, but you cannot eat abundance of halal. Right? Very confusing, right? The doctors are so confused. You were fasting from sunrise to sunset, and you figured out a way to gain weight. How is that? The doctors can't figure it out. Like, what happened? Especially in the summertime, you had almost like an intermittent fasting, advanced stage, 20 hours of fast, and yet we figured out how to put on fast weight. Because what ends up happening is when we come for iftar, what we're doing is we're eating for the 2 meals we miss, right? The meal now, and then we also eat for the one we will miss intentionally. You know, we're eating for the one we are going to miss, and in suhoor we just make sure, just in case we don't miss that miss, we have a nice suhoor, right? So may Allah protect us. So he says, Allah يستكثر من الحلال في وقت الإفطار بحيث يمتلئ جوفه بالهدية. Full stomach. And we forget the hadith where Rasulullah said, فَمَا وِعَاءٌ, there is no vessel أبغض إلى الله من بطن تملأه من حلال. There is no vessel that makes Allah more angry than when we fill our stomachs with halal food. SubhanAllah. فَكَيْفَ يُسْتَفَادُ مِنَ الصَّوْمِ قَهْرُ عَدُوِّ اللَّهِ. How are you going to fight shaitan when you couldn't even fight halal food? The question is, this is halal. You stayed away from it all day long. The opportunity came, and this is halal. You can't win the battle with halal. You can't control that. How are you going to control haram, which has attraction, which your nafs is fighting with you? Everything is pushing you in that direction. The society is pushing you. The YouTube that you watch is pushing you. The devices that you have is pushing you. The internet is pushing you. The radio station is pushing. Every single apparatus around you is pushing you towards that haram. But when you are faced with the choice to stay away and just diminish the amount of halal, that becomes very difficult. Like in the masjid that I was in last Ramadan, I told them at the start time, just do water days. We had riots in the masjid. क्या मतलब है आपको?
What do you mean? At least samosa and pakora. They started fighting. There was literally like people were upset. I said, but that was the sunnah iftar of Rasulullah. Right? If you really want to enjoy that, just do dates, 3 dates and water. And let your stomach and everything settle down. Pray your sunnahs, do your ibadah, then go back and eat. And start with light foods. Get yourself, it's even not even healthy.
So the author he says, فَكَيْفَ يُسْتَفَادُ مِنَ الصَّوْمِ قَهْرُ عَدُوِّ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ وَكَسْرُ شَهْوَتِهِ. How are you going to break the shackles of your desires? إِذَا تَدَارَكَ الصَّائِمُ عِنْدَ فِطْرِهِ مَا فَاتَهُ نَهَارُهُ. The minute you see all that you missed, you lost the battle. Like Sarah bin Ayn, you left all of the food, Yallah Bismillah. And you lost the battle with that. How are you going to fight the battle of your nafs? وَرُبَّمَا يَزِيدُ عَلَيْهِ أَلْوَانُ الطَّعَامِ. MashaAllah, ruwabza, all the interesting things that only come out of now. So, when you start, make sure they were going to say. So, we know there should be no diminution in that. For the Maghrib, the Shai Maghribi, Hisa, Hilas, and all that. And Harira, oh, MashaAllah, Ma'al, Kusa, and all of these things you have to do. And then Couscous. And now we're all hungry. حتى استمرت العادة بأن يدخر جميع الأطعمة للرمضان. What has happened? Now you have specific foods that are only for Ramadan. Like our Egyptian, any Egyptian brothers here?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Somewhere. He left. He left.
He left? Yeah. Khurshaf.
Some.
Yeah, there's a special dish called khurshaf. Like subhan, it only comes out in Ramadan. It's a Ramadani dish. We all have in our cultures dishes that only come out in Ramadan. That was not supposed to be the case, right? فَيُؤْكَلُ فِيهِ مِنْ أَطْعِمَ مَا لَا يُؤْكَلُ فِي عِدَّةِ الْأَشْهُرِ. We eat in this month that we don't eat in the entire year. This was supposed to be the month of taqleem, to reduce. We increase so much, and especially the sisters, they go through so much burden. Their spirituality of Ramadan is completely taken away. They're hardly 4 o'clock khalas. They all go in, and now there's a chaos in the kitchen. This has to be perfect, and this has to be perfect. And that is the time of dua is accepted, and we are busy with kitchen. Then obviously, all year round, when Allah gave you that opportunity to have all your du'as accepted, you were busy with satisfying your nafs. Then how are we going to have our du'as accepted? And then obviously, consequently, there will be troubles throughout the year. Because the opportunity that Allah gave you, you didn't avail that. Then he says, وَمَعْلُومٌ أَنَّ الْمَقْصُودَ الصَّوْمِ الْخُوَاءُ وَكَسْرُ الْهَوَى. You know, the purpose of fasting is that you feel uneasy and the breaking of your desires. That's the purpose. Why? لِتَقْوَى النَّفْسَ عَلَى التَّقْوَى. So that your soul and your nafs becomes ready to start taking the journey of taqwa. Why was fasting prescribed on us? What is ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah? يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ
تتقون.
It is tattaqun, so that we may have taqwa. We have turned that لَعَلَّكُمْ تَأْكُلُونَ, so that we all eat. Sadly, right? That has what Ramadan has become. Fasting has prescribed, so we eat. That's our actions. Our actions are not showing the actions of taqwa. Then he says, the author, فإذا دفعت المعدة ضحوة النهار إلى العشاء حتى هاجت شهوته وقويت رغبته ثم أطعمت من اللذات وأشبعت زادت لذته وتضاعفت قوته وإن بعثت من الشهوات ما عساها راقدة لو تركت على عادته. In Ramadan we get desires that we're sleeping all year round. But because we indulge them in so much indulgences of nafs, that certain desires only wake up in the month of Ramadan. Whereas this was the month we were supposed to kill our desires. فروح الصوم وسره
the essence of the spirit of fast and its essence and the secret is تضعيف القوي التي هو وسائل الشيطان. It is to weaken our nafs. The control and the shackle of nafs that it has on us, we're supposed to weaken that so we can fight shaitan. That is the main purpose. And Allah has protected shaitan, protected us from shaitan. Sulsilat al-shayateen. Shaitan is tied up. وهو أن يأكل أكلته التي فلن يحصل ذلك إلا بالتقدير. The only way this can happen is that we focus on reduction, number one. Number two, أن يأكل أكلته التي كان يأكل كل ليلة لو لم يصوم. Keep your food and diet exactly what you're eating today. Don't add anything addition other than the dates, which is the sunnah. Keep it exactly the same. If you just keep it the same and now reduce, automatically the fact that you're fasting, your reduction will take place. And that automatically, as Imam Ghazali says, that your nafs kal bahim, it's like a wild cattle that is not being tamed. And the first thing you do to tame a cattle is what? To starve it. Because when you starve it, that hiyajan, that animalistic instincts of that horse, that cow, kind of tames down. It becomes weakened. And then it is ready to listen. And that's what we need to do with our nafs. فأما إذا جمع ما كان يأكل ضحوة إلى ما كان يأكل ليلا فلن ينتفع بصومه. But if we were to add everything that we missed from day and night, we missed the breakfast, we missed the lunch, and we added all of that in our iftar, then you benefited nothing from that fast. بل من الأدب. Now this is another one that is going to be difficult for us. The adab of these days is ألا يكثر النوم بالنهار. So don't sleep all day. Fasting is what happens. Most of us, we come back from work 4 o'clock. Don't wake me up till 6:37. Right? 7 o'clock, I'll wake up 5 minutes before and make some dua and shower. Sadly, that's what our reality is, right? The adab is ألا يكثر النوم. We decrease our sleep. This is a month of ibadah, not the month of nawm. حتى يحس بالجوع, until you feel the hunger, you feel the thirst, you feel the lack of sleep, and your nafs weakens, so you can control it the rest of the day. فيصفو عند ذلك قلبه, and that is the beginning of the cleansing of your heart. That's how your heart starts becoming clean. Allah grant us a pure heart. ويستديم في ليلة القدر من الضعف. You keep becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, but your heart keeps becoming, your spiritual heart becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And if you carry on doing that, then Allah blesses you with Laylatul Qadr. It's like a supercharger for your iman. Twin turbo iman. For those of you that are in sports cars. Allah. You get twin turbo iman. Allah. MashaAllah. And for Tesla drivers, dual motor. فعسى الشيطان لا يحوم على قلبه فينظر إلى الملكوت السماء. And it happens that, sorry, Mr. Lang. ويستدين في ليلة القدر من الضعف حتى يخف عليه تهجد وأوراده. Until what happens is praying tahajjud, saying the awrad, saying your daily wird of morning and evening. MashaAllah, I see most of the brothers in the Fajr really good being here, but that's the time of wird, not the time to chat. That is the time that each one of us should have a daily wird. There are a few brothers that I've seen that, but most of us were chatting, right? This is not a chit-chat time in the morning. That's a time where Allah is filled with barakah. You want to start your day with this right charge. Right? Inshallah, after Ramadan, we'll begin our words together so we get into a habit and stuff like that. So that we all learn that. Right? We learn it as a habit, as I learned it from my teachers. Right? It's institutional. You have to grow into it like that. Then he says, فَعَسَى الشَّيْطَانُ لَا يَقُومُ عَلَىٰ قَلْبِهِ. And hopefully now Shaitan says, I don't want to touch this person's heart. This person controls enough, too much effort for me to work with this person. Let's go and find somebody else that we can attack. Okay. وَلَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ عِبَارَةٌ عَنِ اللَّيْلَةِ الَّتِي يَنْكَشِفُ فِيهَا شَيْءٌ مِنْ مَلَكُوتٍ وَهُوَ الْمُرَادُ بِقَوْلِهِ إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ. And Laylatul Qadr is a night where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's secret divine realm and divine magic takes place that we cannot explain. How is that possible? Only Allah is capable of doing that. وَمَنْ جَعَلَ بَيْنَ قَلْبِهِ وَبَيْنَ صَدْرِهِ مِخْلَاتٍ مِنَ الطَّعَامِ فَهُوَ عَنْ مَلَكُوتِ السَّمَاءِ مَحْجُوبٌ. But what ends up happening is your heart has to be ready to receive that divine gift from Allah on Laylatul Qadr. By depleting yourself with food the entire month until the 27th night, or the 25th night, or the 29th night, depending on whatever Allah places Laylatul Qadr. But until that night, you must prepare yourself. But if the food becomes a barrier, then we do not benefit from that night at all. And we feel like, I mean, we didn't feel anything. How is it possible? Allah says, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالْرُوحُ فِيهِ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّكَ. How is it possible that we're not feeling anything? Because all of those pakoras and samosas are blocking. Sadly, that's what's happening. Huh? وَسَيَأْتِي, and he's like, we're not going to go into detail of this because وَسَيَأْتِي بَيَانُهُ فِي كِتَابِ الْأَطْعِمَةِ. There's a chapter of food. He has a chapter of food. Food is an ibadah. There's a chapter of food, and we'll go in details on how we should interact with food, inshallah. So tomorrow, we will finish the sixth chapter. There were some questions people asked last time. So what I would suggest is we will send on the community group. We'll put a question submissions. So if you can submit your questions over there. So this way, I will finish that tomorrow. We'll finish the Sadis, the sixth key, and then we will do the Q&A tomorrow. So we'll post it on the Hamzah community group. The second part is, since we're already doing this and we have the momentum, I don't know about you guys, but I feel a lot of energy. So I think we should carry the momentum before Ramadan so we feel really happy and connected. And Friday, we are going to do fit of fasting, but that is going to be drive-through fit. Okay, drive-through fit meaning like, we have a 15-minute lecture, basic stuff, everybody knows. But those of you that would like to have a dining fit, okay, we just finished the chapter of food, so my brain is working like that. So if you'd like to have dining fit, which means the next week we can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, possibly even Friday, we can go into a much more deeper fit of fasting and more question answers and stuff. We'll keep it shorter because, as some of the brothers have advised me, fit is a heavy subject. So we'll keep it to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and somebody has Q&As that we can, address those Q&As. And again, if anybody follows a particular madhab, I will be teaching it on the madhab of Shafi'i, that's what I know. But if you have questions, I have access to Maliki scholars, I have access to Hanafi scholars, then I can always ping them and find out what is the opinion on that particular madhab according to that, right? So if you want a particular answer, I don't claim to know all the madhabs, and nobody should. But we will, as a benefit, because almost 90% is same. Is that 10% that is different that we can agree to disagree? That type of thing, inshallah. How do you guys feel about that? So you guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Everyone's okay with that?
Very good.
I hear a whole bunch of voice over there.
Yes.
Okay, everyone's good with that. Okay. So then what we'll do is Friday we'll be with the families. Please bring out your families. We want to turn this place into a community center for families. Right? Because they are the ones who are holding the fort at home. So if you can, bring out the families. We will put up the partition. If the sisters are up there, inshallah, on Friday, we want the sisters down over here. I know they come over here, but again, we want to start getting into the habit of, conversations between both brothers and sisters, inshallah, together. So Friday is a family day, and then obviously we'll go into the detail of fasting. There is a PDF that I will share with you. So as I am reading the book, that PDF is also translated in English. So the book that I'll be reading in Arabic is called Mata Abi Shuja. But that chapter of fiqh, the chapter of Siyam is translated. So all of you will have on a PDF. I'll drop it on the Hamzah community group so you guys can follow along the Arabic that I'm doing. And if you want to take notes, then maybe print that PDF. It's 20 page, right? And we can do that, inshallah. Right? Jazakallah khair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. بارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا يا رب العالمين.
آمين.
اللهم انشر علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام.
آمين.
اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها يا رب العالمين.
آمين.
وصل اللهم تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.